Welcome back. Today we continue our coverage of the Darrell Brooks trial in chronological order. If you missed any of the previous videos, there is a designated playlist on my channel titled Darrell Brooks Complete Trial. In this video, we pick up on day 5 of the jury being present just after the mid-morning break. The day gets cut short due to severe weather, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to add in more of the witness audio interviews with law enforcement after the portion of the trial. So let's get to it.
All right, we are back on the record. Appearances are as they were before. Madam Clerk, have the jury come out, and the state should be ready to call its next witness.
Still appearing by a third party for my client in this matter. As a living human being. Also would like for the record to address subject matter jurisdiction again, Your Honor, if you would like to answer that now.
No, I would not. And will not.
Is that a judiciary determination?
The record stands. I've previously addressed that issue.
So you will not be answering that?
All right, the record should reflect the jury is coming in.
Is that a tacit agreement again, Your Honor?
I'm not answering that.
So is that a yes or no? I'll take that as a yes for the record, Your Honor.
That's not either, sir. I'm not answering
You didn't
that.
reply. Remember, non-response is consent.
All right, thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Statement call its next witness.
The state would call Heather Ricciotti.
All right, good morning. Ms. Ricciotti, if you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. Please be seated. First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and spell each.
Heather Ricciotti, HeatherRicciotti.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Ms. Ricciotti, I want to direct your attention to November 21st of last year. Were you at the Christmas parade held on Main Street in the city of Waukesha?
I was.
Okay. Who were you there with?
I was there with my 3 children.
How old are they?
At the time, they would have been 7, 5, and not quite 2.
Do you recall where you were seated or standing?
We were on the corner by the steaming cup.
Okay. I'm going to ask that Exhibit 51, which was previously admitted into evidence, be published to the jury.
Objection.
Permission granted.
Ma'am, do you see the area highlighted on the screen in front of you? Actually on the table right in front of you.
Oh,
sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And does that look familiar as the steaming cup?
Yes, we were on the paver portion of the corner there.
Okay. Can you circle or put an X in the area that you and your 3 kids are at, approximately?
Sure.
It's a touch
screen. Okay.
Yes.
So I would have been a little bit further back from my kids, maybe like over here. And my 2 older kids would have, they were in the street right about there.
Okay. And at some point, were you standing, I'm sorry?
I was standing and my youngest was in a stroller with me.
Okay. And the other 2 kids, were they in the street?
Yep, they were with the other kids that were just waiting for candy from the floats.
Were their kids on like your right side as you were watching the parade?
They were kind of just in front of me, a little to the side though, yeah.
Okay, thank you. What was that the approximate area that your kids were standing?
Even out probably a little bit further than where I circled.
Did anyone raise a concern about where they were standing at some point during the parade?
There was concern about it. A police officer had come by and actually moved all the kids back a little bit. And there was another mom there, and her daughter was near my kids. And she had actually said to me, gosh, they're out a little bit far. And I said, everything's going so slow, they're not going to get hit. They'll be fine.
So at some point during the parade, was your attention diverted from what was the floats and the participants and the spectators to something else? Was your attention drawn away?
Yeah, there was one point when there was a break in the actual parade, and an SUV came down the road, and it was coming faster than any parade float should have been coming, so it was confusing, and I didn't know what was happening at the time, but it did veer into the crowd just right in front of me where my son got hit.
Okay. So first of all, can you draw an arrow on the direction that the vehicle was going?
Sure. It was coming from this way.
Okay. And what direction, if you can kind of follow that line, what direction was it going as you said it veered towards you?
It wasn't going straight. It was just kind of like, and then it just kind of went in this way and ended up right about there.
Were any of your kids, one was in a stroller that was by you, up on the ledge, I think, or the...
Yeah, further back.
Were either of your other two kids struck by the SUV?
My middle son, Owen, was struck by the SUV when it came through.
And Owen is 7?
He was 5 at the time. He's 6 now.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's exactly
He's the
what I
middle
done.
one.
I was just testing you to make sure that you knew the ages.
It's hard to keep them straight, but I sometimes do.
Thank you. Did you see the path of travel after the SUV came towards you and hit Owen?
I didn't, because I gathered up my kids as fast as I could, and we had parked in the public lot down here. And so I just gathered them up as fast as I could, and we just ran to the car and to get out of there. There was a lot of chaos and screaming and crying. And
did you? What injuries did Owen receive?
He ended up needing 6 stitches. He had a gash on his eye, above his eye, like in his eyebrow. So we needed 6 stitches because it was pretty deep. They couldn't just glue it or anything like that.
Now, you put your hand above your right eyebrow. Was it above his right eyebrow?
Yeah.
Okay. And where were the kids facing, if you recall, right before the SUV came and struck Owen?
They were waiting for the next float, so he was turned facing the way the floats were coming because there wasn't anything going on at the time. They were just waiting for the next thing, so they were just watching for the next float to come by.
Okay. So I'm assuming his body...
Yeah, he was turned.
Okay, thank you. Did you get medical attention right away?
I dropped my youngest and my oldest off at home, and then I quickly took Owen to Waukesha Memorial.
And that's where he was treated?
That's where he was treated.
Did you see, first of all, what color was the SUV?
It was a maroonish red.
Okay. Did you notice anything distinctive about it other than it was a maroonish red SUV?
No.
Did you see the vehicle prior to it striking Owen strike anyone?
I didn't.
Did you see the vehicle strike anyone after it struck Owen?
I didn't.
Nothing further. Oh, sorry. Nope. We'd ask that a screenshot be taken of State's Exhibit 51. I believe that would be 51A.
Objection.
And we'd ask that it be admitted into evidence.
Objection.
Overruled.
My objection was to clarification on whether she was done or not.
I believe it is 51A. It is also captured, and to use that one in to evidence.
Thank you.
Sorry, did you? 51A?
I did.
All right, and 51A is also received.
And the state would have no other questions for this witness. Thank you.
All right, any questions, sir?
Yes. You stated a few minutes ago that at one point before the vehicle came through that you were having a conversation to the effect of things were going slow, they're not going to get hit.
I never said I was having a conversation.
Well, let me back up. Who were you talking to when you said everything's going slow, pretty slow, they're not going to get hit?
Another mom.
So would it be fair to say that's a conversation?
Yes.
And why did you make reference to getting hit at that point?
Because I didn't expect my kid to get hit at a parade.
So you had already made the determination that they were going to get hit at a parade at that point?
Objection.
Grounds.
Argumentative, sustained. You do not have to answer that question.
Why would getting hit be in your head at that point?
Objection.
Grounds.
Relevance.
Grounds.
See, Brooks, never actually raising his children, has no idea of what a normal parent worries about.
Overruled. She may answer the question.
I wasn't concerned about my children being hit at a parade because typically at a parade floats are going very slow.
That still doesn't quite answer the question because the statement was things are going pretty slow, they won't get hit. What prompted the statement they won't get hit at that point?
Another mom was concerned about how much into the street the kids were waiting for candy.
So it'd be fair to say that the initial concern was from another parent?
Correct.
And not yourself?
I wasn't worried about my kids getting hit at a parade, as I shouldn't have been.
You stated also that you dropped your other kids off before seeking medical attention. Would that be fair to say?
I said that.
Any reason why you didn't seek medical attention immediately?
I did seek medical attention immediately.
You also just stated that you dropped your other kids off.
My house is on the way to the hospital, so I dropped 2 of my children off so they wouldn't have to sit at the hospital.
So your intention at that point was to seek medical attention?
I sought medical attention.
Was
Yes.
that your intent?
That's what I did.
Was it your intent?
Objection. Argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained. Asked and answered.
Do you recall about what time you arrived at the parade?
No.
You recall what time you left the parade?
No.
Were you at the parade with anyone other than your children at that time?
No.
Before you were able to see the vehicle that struck your son, or was it your son?
Yes.
Before you saw the vehicle, did you observe anyone else struck before that moment?
No.
After that moment?
No.
About how long did it take you to gather your children up before?
Not very long.
Do you recall how long you were treated at the hospital?
I don't know. We were there for a while waiting. The waiting room was full of people that were hurt.
Were you ever told at any point during your waiting process that you probably could have went to another medical facility?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained.
You recall giving a statement to law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you recall if it was the same night of the incident?
I gave a report the night of the incident at the hospital.
And did you follow up on that report at any time?
No, I didn't.
Any reason why?
Why would I follow up?
Well, it would be fair to say, would it not, that after making a report to law enforcement, you would want to follow up maybe to see what's going to be done about the report. Would that be fair to say?
I knew that the police were going to do their jobs, so I didn't have a reason to follow up. They contacted me when they needed to contact me.
So it'd be fair to say you just gave the report and then just left the rest up to law enforcement?
Sure.
And I'm assuming that law enforcement at some point got back in touch with you. Would that be fair to say?
Correct.
Do you recall about when that was?
Either the next day or the day after.
Do you recall if it was a detective or a regular officer?
I believe it was a detective.
Do you recall the name of the detective?
No.
Were you at any time given a card by the detective to be able to keep in contact?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if your interview was written down as a summary or if it was recorded?
I think he did both.
Did you file any claims related to this matter?
No.
Ever read or saw a complaint in this matter?
No.
Grounds.
Sustained. You may rephrase if you want. But it's sustained as to the form of the question.
Whom were you contacted by in regards to possibly testifying in this matter?
I don't know. Probably the DA's office. I don't know.
Were you subpoenaed?
I was subpoenaed to be here.
Do you recall who that subpoena was from?
I don't know.
So it'd be fair to say that you received a subpoena and never read who it was from. Would that be fair to say?
From the state of Wisconsin.
When you say the state of Wisconsin, who are you referring to?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Not relevant.
Will you consider yourself an injured party in this matter?
I was not physically injured myself.
Have you filed a claim in this matter in any way?
Yes, answered.
Sustained.
Would you consider yourself to be the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain.
Not relevant. Also under 906.11.
Are you aware of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained on relevance grounds.
Ever had a conversation with the plaintiff at any time in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained is to the form of the question. You may rephrase it if you would like. Some more specificity.
Have you ever had any phone conversations or personal interactions with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, vague.
Grounds.
Sustained is to the form of a question. You may rephrase it if you so choose with more specificity so that it's not vague.
Are you aware of the identity of the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Not relevant.
Grounds.
It's not relevant. Sustained.
Are you aware if there is a plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, relevance.
Grounds.
Sustained
Grounds for the sustain.
on relevance grounds. Also under 906.11.
With all respect, Your Honor, the jury deserves to know this information. We're withholding important information from the jury. They deserve to know this.
The jury will disregard the statement made by Mr. Brooks as not being an accurate statement of the law. Next question.
So to the best of your knowledge, you're not aware of any plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, please move on to another topic under 906.11. You are hereby advised that if you do not move on to a new topic, I will close the cross-examination.
With all due respect, Your Honor, this is important information the jury deserves to know.
Mr. Brooks, ask a relevant question, please.
That holds a lot of relevance, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, one last opportunity to ask a question. Otherwise, the court will declare the cross-examination closed under 906.11.
No further questions.
Can you redirect?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You may step down.
I wonder at what point the jurors thought to themselves, I'm going to burst once I'm allowed to talk to the other jurors.
Statement called to next witness.
Daniel Knapp.
All right, Mr. Knapp, if you would please make your way to the witness stand, which is to my right, up one riser. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand. And my clerk, Teresa, who's to my left, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, sir. Please have a seat. First thing I will ask that you do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Daniel Knapp, D-A-N-I-E-L, Knapp, K-N-A-P-P.
Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Morning, sir.
Morning.
I can direct your attention to November 21st of 2021. Were you at the Waukesha Christmas parade on that date?
I was.
Who were you with?
I was with my family, my wife, and 3 children, as well as 3 other families. There's a group of 19 of us.
And by chance, were you with I'm sorry, Your Yes, thank you. Matt Harris?
Yes.
And did Matt have his...
Hold on. Overruled. The question and answer will stand.
Sir, how old are you kids?
My kids at the time of the parade were 11, 7, and 3.
Where were you seated for the parade?
My family was in front of the Steaming Cup, so that would be on the northeast corner of Main and Clinton Street.
And I said seated, but I guess were you standing, or where were you on that corner?
Yeah, so I was behind the group of, we had 12 children that were lined up across the street, or on the side of the street, waiting to receive candy. I was behind the children, so closer to the Steaming Cup.
Was that the same general location as the other parents?
That is correct, yes. My wife, Stephanie, was with my daughter, Kelsey, going in and out of the Steaming Cup, given it was a little chilly that day, and my daughter was a little cold, so she would go in and out of the Steaming Cup, so she was a little further to the west than I was, but we were all in the general direction.
Okay. And how old is Kelsey?
Kelsey, at the time of the incident, was 3. Today she's 4.
Okay. Now, at some point, did you hear anything unusual during the parade?
Yeah, so in watching the parade, a lot of circumstance pomp, bands and noises, but then all of a sudden the noises changed to what I would describe as sounds of screaming, and at the time when that occurred, the direction kind of turned from facing the parade down to the east, looking down Main Street.
So as you're facing the parade, would east be to your left?
That is correct, to my left.
To your left. And when you said screaming, you said this is a parade. I'm assuming that there are kids and adults screaming and yelling. What was different about the screaming that you heard?
In my recollection, there is a difference between laughing and having a joyful time as compared to screaming out of fear, terror. It was just a noticeable difference.
And the screaming that you heard out of fear or terror, that was the screaming that you heard when you looked left?
That is correct.
What did you see?
So what I saw when I looked left was there was a SUV pulling a float that was down to our left side that had not got to the position that we were at, and all of a sudden a car, red SUV, pulled around that float and headed directly in our direction. You said a red SUV. Did you notice anything unusual about it as the car came at you? Other than obviously a car coming at us during a parade was something that was very unexpected. And as it got closer, as I mentioned, it was coming at maybe a northwest direction as it past the SUV, coming directly at our location. And in terms of anything else at that point, no.
Okay. I'm going to show and ask the court to publish Exhibit 51. It will show up in front of your screen.
Go ahead.
First of all, sir, is this, does this area look familiar to you?
It does.
And where's the Steaming Cup?
The Steaming Cup would be the building I'm circling right now.
Yep. Okay. And where were you seated or standing, approximately?
Yeah, so I was standing somewhere right about here.
Okay. And where were your kids?
So we had, like I mentioned before, a group of 12 that were lined up. Kelsey would have been the furthest to the west, and I would approximate that the 12th child furthest to the east would have been somewhere in this direction, or location, excuse me.
And do you know approximately that would have been the location she would have been on the curb, meaning Kelsey, or would she have been off the curb, if you recall?
It's my recollection that she would have been off the curb. There was a lot of excitement with the children, and there was a police officer that would often push the children back to ensure that they were staying out of the direction of the parade. And so it's my recollection that they would have been on the street at that time.
Okay. And still using Exhibit 51, when you state that this red SUV was coming at your group, can you, and I don't know if you can you show the direction of travel using this exhibit?
Objection.
Overruled. You may answer.
Thank you. I would, the direction I would have, based on my recollection, was coming here, and again, right at our location. So coming here, and then would have come back this direction into the middle of the street.
Okay. So let's kind of go through that. When you first saw the car, was it on? Can you show by an arrow using Exhibit 51? Can you show by arrow the, and I think you actually have, the direction that the parade was going? You did with the arrow that you previously pointed? Is that
yeah, the direction of the parade was coming in this direction here.
And where specifically was the car coming from? Was it coming from, as you're looking at the car, was it coming from the left side of the road or the right side of the road?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Overruled.
The car was coming from the south side of Main Street.
You're on the north side?
I'm on the north side by Stephen Cup, so it had passed the SUV on the south side and then came into our purview at that point, coming on a northwest direction towards us.
So the red SUV passed another SUV?
That's correct. It had passed an SUV that had yet to come to our location. So I'm not exactly sure what unit that was in the parade, but as it passed that SUV, it came into my purview, and that's when I got sight of the vehicle.
So the SUV that the red SUV passed, the red SUV would have passed the other SUV on the driver's side.
That is correct.
Okay. If I could have a screen capture of this, I believe it would be 51B.
It is captured. We'll save it as 51B.
It also has.
Hold on. I'm sorry, was there an objection?
Yes.
The basis for the objection?
Relevancy.
It is relevant. 51B has been captured, and I believe you had a statement about it.
Yes, I'd ask that it be moved into evidence.
It is received. 51B.
The objection be noted for the record, Your Honor.
It already has been. Yes, it will be noted.
Sir, continuing to look at 51, you had stated that the direction of travel then was towards the middle of Main Street. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Could you see what it was going towards?
So at the time of when that vehicle was coming towards our group, myself in particular, I saw the driver of that SUV coming right towards me, and then start making a little bit of that, turning instead of the northwest direction, turning more to the west. And at that time, my concern after looking at this vehicle was realizing that he was heading directly for our children. As the vehicle passed myself getting to the end of our group, which again, Kelsey was furthest on the west, and right next to Kelsey would have been a family friend, Brinley Harris, and I saw the vehicle strike my daughter. My daughter flew approximately 15 feet towards the middle of the intersection of Clinton and Main. So at that point, a fatherly instinct kicked in, and my sole focus was at my daughter at that point. So I did not have any contact, visual contact with the vehicle after that point. So
you said Kelsey flew approximately 15 feet into Clinton Street?
estimation.
Your objection is noted. What was the objection?
That was already answered.
That's not my recollection, so it's overruled. I believe she was seeking clarification or additional details.
Can that be clarified? I'm going to get the question.
No, go ahead and ask your question, Attorney Basie. Your objection's noted. It's overruled.
Is that a judicial determination, Your Honor?
Go ahead, Attorney Basie.
So what did you do upon seeing that?
So after seeing my daughter get hit as the vehicle was turning again into the parade route, noticing my daughter was hit by the front right side of the vehicle, and watching my daughter and where she ended up was my sole focus. I ran over to her to check on the condition she was in.
So you actually saw the red SUV's front right bumper strike your daughter?
That's correct.
Okay, and that's what caused her to be propelled into approximately 15 feet away?
That's correct.
What did you notice once you got to your daughter?
I noticed my daughter had a significant amount of blood on her face. She was conscious, but I would consider it a look of, now mind you, she's 3 years old, a look of just complete fear and misunderstanding, just not understanding what just occurred.
What did you do?
So I picked up my daughter, and not knowing exactly the situation that we were currently involved in, not knowing if there was another vehicle, just not really understanding the situation, I picked her up and I ran north on Clinton Street for about 10 yards. I stopped at that moment. I turned back towards Main Street to make eye contact with my wife and the rest of the group, to ensure that the rest of the group was safe, and just to get a bearing of where we were after making eye contact with my wife and asking the question, is everyone else safe? I proceeded to run with Kelsey in my arms. We were parked at Waukesha State Bank, which I grew up in Waukesha, so thankfully I'm very familiar with the surroundings in this general area, and I knew how close I was to the hospital. I ran with Kelsey. My brother-in-law caught up with me and came with me as we drove up to Waukesha Memorial Hospital and brought Kelsey into the hospital.
What injuries did Kelsey receive as a result of being struck by the red SUV?
So Kelsey received a tear in her spleen in this location.
And for the record, I just want to show that you pointed to the left side.
Correct.
Of
back left side of Kelsey.
Okay.
She received a broken nose, significant road rash and cuts to her facial area, which one of them required some facial surgery.
A child that small, it's a wonder that she wasn't more critically injured.
Prior to the vehicle striking Kelsey, when you first saw the vehicle, did you hear it honking its horn?
I did not.
You stated that the vehicle was coming right at you. Were you able to see inside the vehicle?
I was.
How many people were inside that vehicle?
I could only see one person in the vehicle.
Presumably the driver?
Yes, it was on the driver's side, front driver's side.
Could you tell male or female?
Yes, it was a black male, and at the time, the eyes is what drew me in. Were completely wide open, and made eye contact with the individual driving the vehicle.
So you looked eye to eye with the person who hit your daughter?
I did.
Did you see him in the courtroom today?
I do.
Can you point him out by where he's seated and what he's wearing?
He's seated
I ask
and
that Mr. Brooks take off his face mask.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks.
he is seated at the table located over here. He's got a gray suit on, a blue shirt, and a tie.
Okay. The record reflect that witness has identified the defendant, Darrell Brooks.
Objection, I do not consent to being called that name, nor do I know any individual by that name, Your Honor.
The record will reflect that the witness has identified the defendant as the driver of the SUV that struck his daughter.
May my objection be noted for the record as well, Your Honor.
It's noted.
From your observations, you didn't see anyone else in the car, correct?
I did not.
Did the defendant, was he flailing his arms? Do you recall where his hands were?
I do not recall any hand movement. My main recollection is the face, specifically the eyes.
Do you appear to be in control of the car?
Yes.
Did the vehicle stop after hitting your daughter?
The vehicle did not stop after hitting my daughter, although, as I stated before, I do not have recollection of exactly where the vehicle went, other than getting back towards the center of Main Street.
As the car was coming towards your location, could you estimate the speed?
I have no way of estimating the exact speed, but I would say way too fast for the situation.
So you indicate that you were friends with Matt Harris and his family?
Objection, relevancy
Overruled.
to this particular witness.
Overruled. It goes to context and background.
Grounds for that.
Context and background. It's also relevant. Go ahead, you may answer.
That's correct. We are.
And you say that Brindley was standing near Kelsey when Kelsey got hit?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Brindley was standing directly to Kelsey's left, to her east.
And did you see Brindley after November 21st?
Yes, I've seen Brindley after November 21st.
Shortly after November 21st of last year?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Yes.
Did she have any type of medical dressing on her at that time?
Objection, relevancy.
Overruled.
Grounds for that.
It's relevant.
Yes, she had a full cast on.
Her leg?
Yes, her leg.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, since we know that Brooks didn't prepare for trial, what do you want to bet that all of these other victims are new info to him?
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Any cross, Mr. Brooks?
Yes. You may claim that you locked eyes with the driver of the vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And approximately how far was the vehicle from you when you supposedly locked eyes?
I would estimate it 20 feet.
Would it be fair to say that that's about as far as I am from you now? Or was the vehicle further than where I am now from you?
I would state that it was probably a little bit closer.
And what do you mean by a little bit closer?
I would say perhaps halfway, maybe three-quarters of the way between where you're seated right now and where I'm seated right now.
What would be three-quarters of the way? Can you point about where?
Again, I estimated at about 20 feet. So,
would it be fair to say that halfway between you and I would not be an accurate statement of 20 feet?
Objection.
Grounds.
Overruled. He may answer the question.
that's why I said it was about three-quarters of the way.
So about what spot would it be? By this black, I guess, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's a door.
Electrical box.
Excuse me, what is that?
It's an electrical box.
Would it be by this electrical box? Would it be this square directly next to the electrical box? I mean, what would you say would be 3/4 of the way?
So the electrical box would be a good estimation of the distance. However, it was a little further to my left than where the electrical box was, because it was coming at us at more of
So it would be a little further this way, coming back towards the table here.
Your Honor, I just ask that the defendant allow the witness to answer the question before he asks the next question.
And I agree. The record should also reflect that as the witness was answering the question, he was motioning with his left arm in a direction outstretched kind of from front of his body to the left of his body, probably at a 45-degree angle, to demonstrate that his observation of the vehicle was in that direction. You may ask the question again then, so the witness can answer from there.
So you would estimate that it was in relation to where the electrical box is, probably approximately around like this general area right here?
to my direction, probably a little bit to the left of there.
Just so the record is clear, Mr. Brooks is standing up at his table. He's pointing what would be pretty much directly in front of him, but to my left of the electrical box. We have large squares of carpet. It would be a square and a half to the left, my left, Mr. Brooks' right.
For the record, I'm a third party, Your Honor. Like that stated for the record, I don't identify by that name or consent to being called that name, Your Honor.
Your lack of consent is noted. Next question, please.
Your Honor, just for the record, I don't think some of the jurors in the back can see the black electrical box.
Why don't we have our chair stand for a moment so that we can be clear that they're seeing that. Thank you. All right. So the record should reflect that the jurors are all standing to take a look at where the electrical box is and, of course, the squares of carpet next to that. All right. Thank you. You may be seated. Next question, sir.
And you would say from that general distance, you were able to clearly lock eyes with a vehicle that was passing you at a speed that you say was too fast?
As I stated before, the vehicle was not necessarily passing me, it was coming straight at me. And yes, I was able to lock eyes.
And do you recall if the vehicle had any tint?
I do not recall if the vehicle had any tinted windows. I assume, is that what you're referring to?
Yes, tint, yes.
I do not recall if the vehicle had any tinted windows.
Were you able to, you clearly were able to make the color of the vehicle, would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
And were you able to make out the make and model of the vehicle?
I was not.
And were you able to see if there were any occupants in the vehicle other than the driver?
I only saw one occupant in the vehicle.
Did you get a license plates of the vehicle?
I did not get a license plate to the vehicle.
Do you recall what the driver was wearing?
I do not recall what the driver was wearing.
So it would be fair to say that all you looked at was the eyes then, and not the entire face.
I saw the face of the occupant, the driver of the vehicle. I did not see pants or make out any shirt or jacket or any other markings.
I didn't ask about pants, but
The witness answered your question. Next question, sir.
I would like to get to it, Your Honor.
As we get further from his day of apology to the court, when he said he was standing up as a man, his attitude is becoming increasingly arrogant. Maybe at this point in the trial, he thought he was doing well.
Did you observe the vehicle strike anyone while it was coming towards you?
I didn't. I did not.
After it had passed you?
Yes, I observed the vehicle striking my 3-year-old daughter, Kelsey.
After that point?
I did not.
You stated that when the vehicle was coming towards you, it turned away. It was turning away.
Yes, as the vehicle was coming directly towards our group, it did make a turn from a northwest direction to a westerly direction down Main Street.
Would it be fair to say that that direction that it turned was turning away from you?
Correct. It was turning towards the middle of the street.
But generally turning away from the area that you and your children were standing at that point in time.
Correct.
From your observation, why do you think the vehicle would have been turning away from you?
Objection.
Grounds.
Calls for speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds for the sustain, Your Honor.
Calls for speculation.
Were you injured in any way?
I was not physically injured.
And would it be fair to say that you would describe the scene as pretty chaotic at that point?
Absolutely.
And you...
Mr. Brooks, sorry to interrupt. How much longer do you have? The only reason I ask is there's some weather coming in and I've had some alerts and I want to make sure everyone gets to a safe location. There's a tornado warning, not for us just yet, but so I'll let you finish, but I may be interrupting if another alert comes in. Are they going on? All right, we're gonna take our lunch early then, and I'll rise for the jury. Sorry for the interruption, Mr. Brooks.
Well, finish my question.
You will.
Brooks is going to eat this up. A delay on a silver platter.
It is 12:43. I do have the parties in the courtroom. Appearances are as they were before, and now we can all hear better because the audio is turned on. The record should reflect that when we last broke, the court had received information regarding nearby tornado warnings. Ultimately, there were a number of warnings that were issued, some of which affected the immediate area. Our alert system ultimately went off with the lights and the audible voice telling everyone to take shelter. And it has been lifted, and it was lifted just a short time ago, and I had the parties brought back into the courtroom. I know when we broke unexpectedly, it was during the cross-examination for, I believe, Mr. Knapp, and my thoughts are as follows, is to have Mr. Knapp come back in, I presume he's available, and finish his cross-examination. And then frankly, given the severity of the weather that went through, including near my house, and I need to check on my house, is to break for the day. So I know there's jurors who live in the area, potentially, where some of these things happened. I don't want to question everyone about, whether they have power or whether they don't have power. I just think given the gravity of this case and the weather system that went through, I want to make sure people are giving their full attention. And I would like to then break for the day and then resume tomorrow morning. So that's my plan. As is my practice, though I will give the parties an opportunity to indicate whether they think differently, but that's what I'd like to do. From the state?
I
I understand, and I certainly respect the court's concern for the jurors and their property and their families.
It's not just the jurors. Let me just say, obviously there's a lot of folks that are here attending. Just what I was following in terms of the weather, it's pretty widespread. There were things that happened more south of here. There were things that happened north and west of here. There's people from all over, and I just think it would be wise to let everyone break for the day and then, check on their things and make sure that there are things that they don't need to attend to as the case may be. So go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sure, no, and I understand that, Judge. I don't have an argument with that. I just, we obviously have a full slate of witnesses here to go this afternoon. Some have traveled from like the Cudahy area or, some distance, not unavoidable. But my only other suggestion would be to maybe, take an extended break and let people make calls or even go home and check and come back at 3:00 or something. If that's a possibility, we could still work for a couple hours yet this afternoon. But whatever the court thinks is best, we certainly will be prepared either way.
I certainly would be open to maybe an extended break so that I and others could do exactly what you just say. But I'll hear from you, sir, if you have any position on that.
Yeah, I do have a position on that. I agree with your first assessment, Your Honor. Mainly because, too, with severity and weather, that can sometimes mess with equipment being the trial being televised. That can possibly interrupt that. And you never know. Some people that may be key to this matter may not be able to come back after an extended break. There's no way to tell at this point. I do believe it would, on the air, just for cautionary reasons, would be wise to kind of break for the day and then reset tomorrow morning or whenever the court feels it's best. I may need to do some checking of my own with some close relatives of my own. And so I would want to put that on record as well.
Thank you. I presume, though, no objection from anyone to at least finishing up with Mr. Knapp. It appeared to me we were close to being done, including whether he's fine with that as well. And he's shaking his head, yes.
He has to check on that crowd of friends and family that were supposed to show up in court to support him. Oh, wait, I apologize. Nobody showed up for him.
I do want to state really quick for the record, Your Honor, I'm still, I guess I would say, waiting to obtain a filing.
He has zero self-awareness.
That I addressed before we went on record.
I don't know what that means, sir, but I need to bring the jurors out. I need to finish with the cross-examination portion of Mr. Knapp's testimony. And then, in all likelihood, we'll just break for the day. So I understand wanting to maybe come back at a little bit later, but I think it's just best to break for the day. I will entertain, though, over the next 2 days, whether we go a little bit extended to make up for the loss of the afternoon. I'm well aware we have the interpreter here as well, and so I'll have to have the clerk's office communicate with her when we're not on the record as to when she can come back and when we can get that witness back or here.
He's here and ready to go, Your Honor.
All right.
And Your Honor, just for the record, just real quick, there is a jury instruction as a preliminary instruction for use with interpreters. I wasn't sure if the court was aware of that.
I am aware of that.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'll have to get that ready. Probably needs a little bit of tweaking, so thank you. I'm aware of it. Give me the number, though, so I don't have to search for it.
60.
60? Okay, thank you.
That's the same thing. You just said 60, so.
All right, jury instruction 60, and I'll work on that when we're down this afternoon. So, all right, let's bring the jurors out, and then we'll, Mr. Knapp, you can take the witness stand and be there when they come back in.
Still no addressing of the subject matter jurisdiction, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, my previous record on that issue stands. I will not further be addressing it without a proper motion for reconsideration that complies with the statutes.
I just wanted to state that for the record.
So noted. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. When we unexpectedly broke prior to the lunch hour, Mr. Knapp was on the witness stand, and he was being cross-examined. Sir, you may continue.
I'd like to apologize to the court. I'm not sure where I left off at.
Go ahead and just start back up.
Okay, I'm trying to see if I took any notes that would get me back to where I was before the break.
Oh, good grief.
Do you recall making or being interviewed by law enforcement in the days following the incident?
I was.
Do you recall what date that was?
I believe it would have been the 23rd. My daughter was released from the hospital after a stay overnight, which would have been the 22nd, and I believe it was the 23rd. I could be mistaken on that.
Do you recall if that was just to make arrangements for the interview at that time?
The recollection I have was actually being questioned about the incident.
You don't recall making arrangements to be interviewed and then approximately 4 or 5 days after that actually being interviewed?
Again, I don't recall the exact date. In my mind, it was the day after we got home from the hospital. And yes, arrangements were made to meet with a detective.
Do you recall being interviewed on November 29th of 2021?
Again, I don't recall the exact date.
You made reference to Clinton Street being a cross street that was close by. Would that be fair to say?
That is correct.
Do you recall if Clinton Street had any barricades?
I do not recall.
Did you go down Clinton Street at that moment?
Yes, I did, as stated.
Did you recall any law enforcement being present at the Clinton Street side crossing, I guess?
Yes, there was a law enforcement officer on the south side of the street, and as I mentioned before, he helped save a lot of lives by pushing our children back.
Appreciate the extra commentary. Do you recall describing the driver as an African American male with long hair and facial hair?
I remember describing the driver of the vehicle that I made eye contact with as a black male with facial hair. I don't necessarily recall stating long hair.
I have the summary right here of the interview that you gave with law enforcement on November the 29th of 2021. And reading from that summary.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. Again, for the same reason I
Grounds.
objected before. This is in a statement or a supplement by Detective Jeff Adent, A-D-E-N-T, from the Waukesha County Sheriff's Department, in which he met up with this witness. This witness provided information to the detective.
I understand. I don't need the full explanation. I'll just sustain the objection as to the form of the question. I know you didn't fully get it out, but I think I know where you were going, so please rephrase.
Would the reference to the statement that I referred to about the long hair, if I was able to show you, would it bring any recollection of what you may have said during that interview?
No, if I stated it at that time, then that was my recollection at that time. 11 months later, my recollection of the statement is that I made eye contact.
I'm not referring to that statement. I'm referring to the statement that reads David, or yes, or wait, let me back up. Were there some confusion with your name in this report?
Not that I'm aware of.
It looks like the officer that was taking the report got a little confused on the name.
Mr. Brooks, you're providing a narrative, so that's not a question. He doesn't have the report in front of him, so please make sure you ask the question.
Do you recall reading from the summary, describing the driver as an African-American male with long hair?
As stated, as I sit today, I remember describing the driver as a black male with facial hair and very wide eyes. If I stated that at the time, that was my recollection at the time. As I sit here today, I cannot state that I recall having seen long hair.
Would it be fair to say that what I'm reading from is accurate statements made by you to the law enforcement officer?
Objection. For the same reason I mentioned.
There's a lack of foundation as to the question, so I'll sustain it, and if you are able to rephrase, please.
Can I show the witness his statements? Maybe that may bring some recollection back of what was said in the interview.
I'll allow it. If you would give the statement to the bailiff, who can then give it to the state. I don't know if you have it electronically or if we want to use the document camera.
I have it in front of me.
All right. Is it connected to the...
It can just be given to the witness. Again, I'm going to object. If he's using it to refresh recollection, that's fine, but this witness says it does not refresh his recollection. I'm objecting to any questions after.
I understand.
Okay.
Right.
I object to that because...
Hold on. Let's show. You've asked that it be shown to the witness. It will be shown to the witness. Is there a particular paragraph you want to direct his attention to, Mr. Brooks?
The paragraph that I referred to when he stated that the driver was an African-American male with long hair.
All right. So, sir, just take a moment to review that. When you're done reviewing it, turn it over, and then Mr. Brooks will ask you some follow-up questions.
For the record, I don't consent to being called that name, Your Honor. For the record, I'm third party to the matter, Your Honor.
Go ahead and ask a question to see if it helped refresh his recollection.
From reading that summary of the interview that you gave with law enforcement, do you recall stating that the driver was an African American male with long hair?
I recall stating what I stated before, that it was a black male with facial hair and white eyes. I don't recall stating long hair, but that
would it be fair to say that the summary that is in front of you states that that's what you said?
It would be hearsay.
Browns. I'm stating directly what it says on the paperwork.
It's still hearsay, Mr. Brooks. So the objection is sustained. Next question.
Is it fair to say that that's what
That's hearsay. So,
it's hearsay when it's right there for him to read?
Mr. Brooks, I direct your attention to the hearsay statute, all right, for a definition in 908.01 and the rule in 908.02.
So it's not a fair.
Sustained. Next question.
Do you recall if the driver had hair? Any hair whatsoever?
I recall seeing facial hair.
Any hair on their head?
I don't recall at the moment, as we sit today, picturing exactly that if I saw hair or if I didn't.
Any reason why you wouldn't be able to see the driver's head?
My eyes were locked on a vehicle that was driving at a high rate of speed, with the person driving the vehicle's eyes extremely wide. And then at that moment, my full attention went to my children, where that vehicle was driving at a very high rate of speed.
So it would be fair to say that because you keep making reference to the eyes, so would it be fair to say then that because you were so fixated on the eyes that it would be hard to tell any other features of the driver?
I'm stating what I saw: wide eyes, black male, facial hair.
Would it being so fixated on the eyes, would that in any way make it hard for you to see any other facial description?
I'm not sure your definition of hard. I'm stating what I saw.
Do you recall if there was anything on the driver's head, a hat or anything of that nature?
I don't recall.
You stated that it was an African American male. Do you recall a skin complexion?
I do.
Was it a dark skin complexion?
It was.
Would it be fair to say that who you identified today does not have a dark complexion?
I guess it depends upon the definition of dark.
What is your definition of dark? Because in all fairness, you said dark skin. So what would be your definition of dark skin?
Dark skin as present on my interaction with black males in the past.
So every black male that you've had an interaction with was dark skinned?
Again, it depends. There's different complexions of dark, and it depends upon what complexion or what your definition of dark is.
I'm asking your definition because you said dark skin.
Yeah, I would object to this line of questioning. The point has been made. This witness identified the defendant, Darrell Brooks, as a person driving the car. I think he's asked the question about dark skin. I think that this has been asked and answered.
Objection.
I'm going to sustain the objection as to the form of the question. I believe the way it's asked is argumentative. You may rephrase if you so choose.
May my objection be noted that I do not identify by that name, nor do I know anybody by that name. I don't consent to being called that name.
Noted. Next question, please.
Have you ever had any other interactions with any black males that were not considered dark-skinned by your definition?
I don't understand your question.
Have you had any previous interactions with African Americans that were not dark-skinned?
Objection to relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled. It relates to his identification. He may answer.
As stated before, my interactions with black males before, there are different levels of complexion and color tones, darker versus lighter. And I have interacted with black males before that have been both lighter and darker skin tones, yes.
Would it be fair to say that you didn't give that clarification when asked before?
I don't understand your question.
Would it be fair to say that you did not give that clarification when asked the same question before?
What clarification are you referring to?
You strictly said the skin tone. You came to the conclusion that it was dark skin based on your interactions with African American males before. Would it be fair to say that that's what you testified to?
That I can identify the skin tone color is what I stated, and the person that was driving the vehicle had a darker skin tone.
May I have that paper back that he has? I might have a question from the chat. That specific part of the...
Market to reflect the one page of the police report and then hand it back to the defendant.
From your recollection of the interview with law enforcement, do you recall stating that you don't vividly recall any acceleration?
I do recall stating that.
And just for clarification for the record, you did not see the vehicle strike anyone once it was past your location?
When it passed me, I saw the vehicle strike my daughter.
The location where you were at, you made reference to being near that intersection corner, I think it was. Mm-hmm. So once it was past that location is what I'm referring to.
Right. So after the vehicle struck my daughter and then past that location, I ran to my daughter as stated, and I did not see, other than the vehicle swerve back towards Main Street, the vehicle strike another human being.
So you did not see it, just for clarification, because that was a lot of commentary. For clarification for the record, you did not see it strike anyone else once it was past that location where you and your family were?
That is correct.
No further questions.
Any redirect? All right, thank you. Sir, you may step down. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I have made a determination that today we are going to break early, just given all of the weather issues that happened earlier today. Frankly, including the need on my part to check on my house and other things. I just felt it best, just given all of that and the disruption, that we would break for the day. I do want you, as you go back home today, to look at your schedules for the next 2 days, because I may keep us here a little bit later to make up for some of the lost time, at least tomorrow. So just let the civilian jury bailiffs know tomorrow when you come in. I do want to read to you the instructions that I've been providing to you regarding not starting your deliberations and the extra research, etc. So, do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is presented, and I have instructed you on the law offered and received at trial. With that, you are excused for the day. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right.
Michael? Tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'm going to check with the jurors, and if anything changes, we'll let the parties know. But otherwise, plan on being here at 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Will there be an interpreter? Will you be calling?
I won't know. We'll do that off the record. I don't know if Dawn Maldonado stayed or not, but if not, we'll contact her and we'll be in touch with you very quickly so that we can tell you if that witness needs to come back tomorrow or another day, because it might not be her. They could turn to one of our other interpreters. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. We are in recess.
The following is an audio interview between law enforcement and those who witnessed the tragic incident at the 2021 Waukesha Christmas Parade when Darrell E. Brooks drove his mother's red Ford Escape through the parade. 6 people lost their lives that day, more than 70 sustained injuries, and the numbers of those emotionally traumatized is beyond the hundreds. While most of the descriptions contained in this video are not graphic in nature, some may find this audio difficult to listen to. Viewer discretion is advised.
And I guess I should start by, are you okay? I mean,
Yes.
Did you get injured?
I was not injured.
You're not injured? Okay, good. All right, so the main questions they wanted us to ask was, well, first of all, you're not injured. I asked you that already. Did you have any kids or anything with you?
No.
No? Okay, and they were, so obviously nobody was injured there. Would you consider yourself a witness or a victim?
Witness.
Witness, okay. And what did you see? What were your observations?
I heard boom, boom, turned. I was at the west end of the parade on
Okay.
Main Street. Turned to look east on Main and saw a red SUV with significant front end damage flying down the far right-hand side of the road. My first thought was, he's going too fast for the curve.
Okay.
And I turned and put my hands out and started yelling, get out of the street, get off the road, get out of the street. And I was directly in front of the Catholic Memorial football team.
Okay.
And I didn't even get to say like one full sentence of get out of the street, and he
Went right by you.
went right by me. I ran to the first of there were 4 casualties in our immediate area. I ran to the first one.
Okay.
And immediately started to
Provide
assess patient,
help.
provide
Okay.
aid, and stayed with patient. She was stable, conscious, and talking.
So that first injury, did you see how it happened? Did he hit her directly?
I
or-
did not.
Okay. Do you remember if it was a white female, white male? What was it?
Hispanic female.
Hispanic female?
I know her name, date of birth, and allergies if you need them.
You
And her
do?
son's name, who was also injured. So.
Okay, what was the person's name?
Marisol Lopez Gutierrez.
You have one heck of a memory.
Oh,
Okay.
because he said, when I said, what's your mother's last, what's your last name? He said, do you want mine or my mom's? So her husband's name is Rodolfo. There were actually 2 people that attended that were first on site with that patient. It was a bilingual female and her husband. She was the one that got her phone, called the husband, told him where we were so he could find us, but then she got a call saying that her son, who was in the marching band, had been injured.
Oh.
And he was at Martha Merrill's bookstore. And so she left, and then once another nurse who I knew came and the 2 of us were providing care, then he left.
When he left, okay.
So, and then we
So Rodolfo wasn't injured then?
Rodolfo was not even
No,
there.
they were never there. The only 2 that were there were Marisol and Adair. Do
Correct.
you remember what Adair's date of birth was?
I do not know. Yeah, I know he's 10.
10 years old? Okay. Where exactly did you say you were standing?
I was just west of Planned Parenthood on Main Street.
Okay. And when you saw the vehicle coming, do you believe that he was trying to avoid people? Was he swerving around, or do you think he was aiming at people? What your honest opinion?
By the time he got to where we were, he was clearly attempting to avoid people. He was as far right on the road as he could be.
So you think he just basically ran out of space?
I cannot make that determination. I cannot speak to.
Did you see the guy driving the vehicle?
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw him.
Does it fit? What description would you give of him? So does it fit the description of the subject they've been showing on TV?
Yes.
So a black male with...
I saw the face, the hair, the scruffy, both hands on the steering wheel, nobody else in the car.
Nobody else. So if I were to show you a picture of him, you'd recognize him?
I would have recognized him
Yeah.
without it being on television, yes.
Do you remember, and I know it happened super fast.
Yeah.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
No.
How about his hair?
Yeah, the dark hair, I couldn't tell if it was dreads or if it was, but it was not like well kept. It was plot and the scruffy black facial hair.
So you would say maybe long hair, you just couldn't describe what kind of long hair?
Right.
Okay. And scruffy face.
Correct.
And just to be clear, scruffy face, I mean, he had some facial hair.
Yeah, the black
Okay.
facial hair is what I saw
Okay.
in his hair.
All right. Is there anything else? Who were you there to watch? Were you associated with any groups like Extreme Dance or the Waukesha Blazers?
No, I live right on the river, not even a quarter mile
Okay.
from the parade route, and I'd gone for a run, and then it's typical is to
You
I
just stopped
walked
and
the route.
watched.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I was doing.
That's what most people would do.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. All right. Okay. Is there anything else that you think that, well, first of all, did you take any film?
I did not.
You didn't take any pictures either?
Nope, never looked at my watch, never took pictures.
Okay.
Nothing.
Is there anything that you think it's important for us to know about the incident that we didn't ask you or that I didn't ask you?
No.
No?
Thank you, yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure whether the prosecution will need you at all regarding this. I mean, right now I don't know how many witnesses we are,
Yeah.
but well over 100.
Yeah, I would say there's gonna be.
So, I'm not sure who the prosecutor will choose to move forward with on this, but expect that somebody will call you at some point and at least kind of let you know,
Okay.
yes, we'll need you, no, we're not going to need you, thank you for your help, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
So, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for doing this.
So, are you doing okay, though?
I
You
am.
got a little emotional
I
there
am.
when you started talking about,
Yeah.
the people and stuff, so.
Well, I am lucky enough to have a strong support system, and I have a background in, so I'm in surgery, so I'm used to seeing people's insides on the outsides, and blood doesn't bother me, and I worry more
It's a little
about-
traumatic though when they usually
it's
happen,
traumatic
right?
for
Yeah.
everybody. Yesterday was a really rough day. Today was
Yeah.
much better. So hopefully we can help support all the people in the community that don't see this kind of thing on the on a regular basis, or even injured humans. And
Right. No, I hear you. Oh, by the way, where do you work? What did you say your position was?
I'm an ambulatory surgical nurse.
That sounds like an exciting job.
I run the 5 clinics for one of the general surgeons with West Dallas.
Ah,
and one
okay.
hospital, yeah.
How many years have you been doing that for?
I've been there 3 years.
3 years? Okay. All right, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
So, again, unless you can think of something, I think we're good to go.
Okay.
All right, Elise, did I forget something?
Was the car speeding up or slowing down? That's the only thing. Was the
Oh, yeah.
speed.
I did not notice that his speed changed. He was already going super fast.
Okay. So to be clear, you didn't notice a speed change because he was already going at a very high rate of speed.
Correct.
Okay. Thank you, Elise. I can't understand the handwriting.
I know, his eyes are sloppy on it.
They gave us a list
I
of...
say, everybody take a picture of this. And you're like,
Well, that's what we
doesn't
did.
matter, can't read it.
So we were leaving the room when she took a picture of it, and I'm like reading. I'm like, what the heck does that say?
Yeah.
It's like a doctor wrote it.
Yeah, yeah.
So I just went by experience. So, but I'm glad she remembered that question. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you
It was a
both.
pleasure meeting you, and I'm sorry it's under these circumstances.
I agree.
You know, and the time is 2:44.
So we're basically just interviewing anybody that may have witnessed the occurrences from Sunday or been a victim to the witness or been a victim to what occurred on Sunday at the parade. So
Fortunately, we're all victims, but some more than others.
yeah, I suppose you're right on that one. And so
I'm going to pull up a map here for you.
okay. And I guess what we're looking for is stuff that you actually witnessed and not what you had seen afterwards on the news or video feed or anything like that.
Right. No, I can do that.
Okay,
I just wanted to start with giving you the address where we were.
perfect.
So we'll pull that up here. So we were sitting. Well, we were sitting across from the Waukesha Tattoo Company. And that would be. Sorry.
No, you're fine. No rush.
Usually gives you the address.
Right. What do you know a road that's on?
It's on Main Street.
And is there a cross street next to that?
Yeah, we could do that. So it's right where it turns. It turns the corner to West Avenue. So the nearest cross street would be Maple. Maple comes in.
But you're right across from the tattoo
We're right
company?
across from the Waukesha Tattoo Company.
Okay.
Yeah.
What time do you think you got there around?
To the parade?
Yeah.
We got there kind of early, like 3:30ish, because we were saving some seats. But
And who'd you go with?
so my wife Lori,
Okay.
and then that's Lori.
LORI.
Yeah. And then that's my sister-in-law. That's Faith.
Faith?
Yes.
And that's
And-
who, with the baby, is that Faith? Or?
That's my wife.
That's
She's
your wife?
holding Faith's granddaughter.
Okay, so this is your sister-in-law here.
Yeah.
That's Faith, and your wife is Lori in the other
Right,
room.
she's
Got
in
it.
the room.
Okay.
And then my other sister-in-law, Rebecca, and her 2 children. We all kind of met there. We didn't like arrive together. We just
Okay.
met at that spot.
Got it.
So Rebecca and her 2 kids, Lauren and Madeline.
How old are they? Roughly.
Lauren's Lauren is a freshman in high school, and Madeline is, I think, like 7th grade, give or take a little bit. Hard to keep track of these kids nowadays.
Yeah, I know.
And then our neighbor met with her 2 children, and they came later, and they just jumped in and sat down. But everybody's there before the start of the parade, though.
Okay. And then,
so I think there was a group of a group of 12 of us that were, we all knew each other.
got it. And as you're watching the parade, what's the first thing of significance related to this incident that you saw or heard?
So as we're sitting across from the tattoo parlor, and then we heard some kind of commotion that wasn't parade-like. And then, at least me, I turned my head and I saw the red truck with the crushed hood speeding directly towards us.
Which way would that be, to your right or your left?
So it was coming from the left, going to the right. So we were facing... the parade was going from left to right as we sat there.
So it's coming the way of the parade.
Yeah, the truck went down the parade route with the direction of the movement of the parade.
And do you know what kind of truck it was?
It was a red SUV.
You said it had a crushed hood?
Right.
Okay.
I could see the hood like this.
Hood was like kind of buckled up. You heard him buckle. Okay. Could you see a driver?
I saw a driver. I saw a gentleman. Probably. I'm trying to give you the information from when I remember it, not from what I have gleaned from the.
Yes.
So, if I'm thinking about it like if I was right after it happened, he would be a gentleman of mid 30s, I would say. If you were to ask me all these questions, like 5 minutes after, that's what I'm trying to give you.
Okay.
Probably mid to late 30s. I couldn't say what race, but I did see a beard.
And
I only saw one person in the car, at least that I could see. If you had to pin me down at that time, I would say one person.
Okay. And could you tell what his hair was like, aside from his facial hair?
I just remembered dark. I couldn't say, at the time, I couldn't say brown or black.
I mean, like, okay, perfect. And if, like, long or short, or do you know what kind of hairstyle he had?
No.
Okay. So, you see the SUV, red SUV with the driver you described coming, you said right at you guys. Where were you seated? Were you in the road or on the sidewalk?
We were right. Like this would be the curb. If this was the curb, we were on that like spot right on the curb.
Like the curtilage here? On the grassy area, or?
Yeah. Well, in that particular area, it's brick, but it's between the area that goes between the curb and the sidewalk.
Okay.
There's usually like a little. On some streets it would be grassy, but on that particular one it's paved.
And
so we were able to have some of our group was sitting on blankets right on the curb, like as it was a seat, and then some of us were sitting one row back in like lawn chairs and stuff.
Okay. And you had indicated that you saw and heard a vehicle. What did you hear?
Well, I said I heard commotion.
Oh, okay.
Not parade-like.
Okay.
So, normally at a parade there's, laughing and screaming of delight, but I heard a lot of yelling and screaming that was not parade-like. That's why I guess it got my attention to turn to the left.
And as you saw this individual driving the vehicle, could you make any other observations? Like, was
he on a mission?
How do you mean?
He's driving like this, and he was
two hands on the wheel,
trying to. Well, I don't know what he was. I wouldn't know at the time. I didn't know what he was trying to do. Actually,
what you showed me was two hands on the wheel.
Yeah, and he was like very focused ahead, very focused.
Did it seem like he was trying to swerve away from people, towards people? Could you tell by the way he was driving?
The first thought in my head was he was fleeing, trying to get away from something. So when I turned and looked at the left, you know, maybe he was a half a block. But the marchers, I couldn't say what group was marching or, you know, walking or participating in the parade. But then his truck was here, coming at me.
So he's going by the marchers?
He was coming around between the curb and the marchers. So at that point, I don't remember if they were scattering to the sidewalk, because there was a lot of screaming, and I think a lot of people were. I would surmise they were screaming, "Get out of the way" or whatever, but I can't say I heard that words because it was all happening at once. But I remember seeing the car coming straight down well, if it was coming at us, it would have been in the parking lane, in the direction of the correct direction of travel, if there were.
Did he
cars.
hit the curb at any point that you could see?
I don't know. Not that I saw that he hit the curb at that point, because he came around the marchers at that point, and I think there was like a break there was a little break in front of us, and he was looking for the opening. But that's right in front of our.
So when you say a break, like a break in the parade?
He was looking for an opening to get through. The faster, the better.
Okay. And then
by that time, he was already past.
So at first he was coming right at you. Did you guys move out of the way, or did he swerve so he didn't hit you?
I think he was, by that time, he was already turning. Well, I shouldn't say turning is the wrong word. I should say kind of drifting off to the middle of the road. Because we had a light pole right next to us, a big light pole.
Oh.
So he may have seen that. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But if I was trying to get away from somebody, I sure wouldn't go towards the light pole. But yeah, we had a light pole, street lamp or whatever.
Right. So he kind of veers off to the middle of the road, and then what?
And then he's off. He's off, already past us.
Was he maintaining the same speed, or?
If I had to guess it, I would say he was accelerating.
Do you base that on visual, or were you hearing
I don't know.
anything? Okay.
I know he wasn't slowing down, though. If I had to think back, maybe there was some. But it's hard to tell when you have the direction of travel when somebody's coming in front. When like a motorcycle goes past you, you can't really tell if it's speeding up or not, because then all of a sudden you hear the tailpipes, which makes it sound louder.
True. Okay, so after he kind of veers off the middle,
but then there's the corner,
okay,
which is where it turns, which is only like, from here to the end of that's where the road turns.
Okay.
And because right there at the end of that road is a war memorial.
Okay.
So that's got a bunch of big pillars and stuff, so you couldn't go straight. Well, you could try, but
So you got to the corner.
There's a bunch of concrete, like,
oh, massive. Okay.
like it's statues and stuff. 'cause
Sure.
It's a war memorial, so it's like, you know, big gigantic concrete abutments and such.
Okay.
So he had to make that turn.
To the right or the left?
If he was going, it would be turned to the left.
And then out of your sight, or could you see where he went after that?
No, because then there's too many buildings in the way. By that time, I was already going that way. I was already moving to the.
You were going where?
So my wife, so that all happened so quickly, and then all of a sudden we're hearing, you know, like lots of screaming and so forth. And then I turned around to make sure my family was okay. Then my wife said, "Go."
She said go?
Yeah.
Go, what did...
I'm a nurse practitioner.
Oh, okay. Okay. Where did you go then?
I went to help people that were injured.
Would to the area where the vehicle had
that
come?
were on the ground.
Okay. And they were to your
So
left?
that would have been to my left. That would be going back up the parade route to the east.
And who did you go help at that point?
After that, it's a kind of a blur.
Understood.
There were many people on the ground, and so I just kept triaging people. And as I was triaging, I was moving forward because I was trying to find the people that were hurt the worst. And then I eventually settled on helping one of the paramedics. He was a off-duty paramedic with a particular lady that was pretty badly injured.
How was she? Do you remember how she was injured? What injuries she had?
Well, at first she wasn't conscious, but then she came around. I mean, from here on in, this is obviously conjecture because I don't know. I didn't have an X-ray machine or CT scanner out on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But we're pretty sure she had a skull fracture.
Did you stay with her until other help arrived? Or?
Right, because eventually enough of the paid departments showed up, and EMS or whatever you want to call it, and then we were able to finally have one of them grab us a backboard so we could put her on. And they were able to grab us a backboard and a seat collar, so we were able to get her ready to move.
Do you remember her talking to you at all?
Yeah, she just kept saying my head hurts.
Do you know her name by chance? Or
her name was Betty.
Betty?
And the only reason we know that is because one of her, she was part of the Dancing Grannies.
Okay. So older female?
Right. I couldn't tell you the age though. I'm sure you can find that out.
Yeah.
So we, finally one of the ambulance crews came and got us and said that we can load her up, and that's the last I saw of her.
You said an ambulance came, or
one of the ambulance crews.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you which department though.
And she was loaded up then?
Yeah, we got her loaded in, and then they took off to somewhere. And then I stuck around for a little while, and I helped out a little bit more with with some odds and ends here and there, whatever the. By that time, most of the people were fortunate enough to have gotten rides out of the area.
The injured people?
Yeah. I think after we loaded up Eddie, there were maybe 5 or 6 that were in the staging area, which is right in front of the Steaming Cup restaurant.
When you first started approaching the area, you said you saw a lot of bodies.
Well,
best guess, I mean, how many people?
When I shouldn't use the word bodies. I should use the word
people. Injured people.
There was 1, 2, 3. There were like, I know of like 4 already on the ground. I know of 4 on the ground before I got to Betty, and they already had people around them, so that's partly why I kept moving. Because you can kind of tell when the folks that are helping the person are somewhat medically trained, because you can kind of just pick that out.
So those 4 you could see had people who somewhat knew what they were doing.
Right.
And that's why you went to Betty?
Right.
Okay. Was anybody around Betty when you got there?
Yeah.
The off-duty EMT?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think he was kind of by himself, so.
Okay.
I was just looking for people that were, all happened within like literally seconds.
Did you hear any statements made from any injured people or anybody about?
No, because the ones that were on the ground weren't talking.
Okay. And then the only thing that Betty said is she's saying that her head hurt.
Yeah, she wasn't conscious at first.
Okay. But you didn't see how that happened to her? I mean, you didn't see it.
Did I see the car run her over? No.
Okay. Did you see? Did you see that car when it was going for the opening, or any time before or after that? Did you see the car actually make contact with any people?
Not that I could.
Okay.
Not that I could definitively. Not like a front end hit. No. Plus, it was, it was a half a block away, and I was. No, to answer your question, no, I couldn't say that I saw it hit somebody.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
You don't have any pictures or video?
No, I don't.
Okay. That's just one thing we're asking anybody.
Yeah. No, that'd be nice. No, I didn't.
Like
a lot of people were probably filming the parade.
Right. Surprisingly, there's a lot of video. So.
Yeah.
And you said you're a nurse practitioner?
Yes.
Where do you work? Is there anything else that you can think of that I didn't ask, or that we didn't talk about, that may be of significance about what happened on Sunday?
No, I've never done this before, so.
No, that's fine. And it's just try to, sometimes it's not so force,
right?
What you remember, but.
And I just remember all the screaming to my left, or maybe it was just a lot of yelling. Maybe screaming is the wrong word, but a lot of yelling. But it wasn't yelling like, "Oh, that's a cool float" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was abnormal. And then all of a sudden you see this vehicle. When it's first coming at you, it's hard to tell. But you see this vehicle, and it's going rather quick or rather fast. And my first thought was, once I figured out it was not part of the parade, Because at first when you look, you just see it. It's a still picture until your brain goes, oh, it's moving, and it's got a crushed hood. And my first thought was that he's fleeing.
Yeah. Did the observation you made of the driver, was that through the windshield or through the side window?
It's through the windshield.
Through the windshield.
Because by the time it was moving past from in front, it was going too quickly.
And so the people that were seated on the curb in front of you, did they have to jump out of the way to avoid getting hit? Or did it happen so quick?
It happened really so fast. I mean, he was cooking.
Yeah.
So he was literally down, from the doorway to the, whatever.
Return.
Your visual, your line of vision is like here. It's like.
That's understood. All right.
He was going fast.
Yeah.
I think earlier he was probably going a little slower from the videos that I saw. But by the time he was getting down to us, he had an opening.
Mm-hmm.
And he could see the opening, and I think that's where he was going.
So if you were, like you said earlier, if we had talked to you 5 minutes after this happened, if you were shown a photo of this individual at the time, then do you think you'd be able to identify him?
No.
Okay.
I mean, it was, you had the windshield, and there was probably glare off of it, so you don't get it's not like you and I are sitting across from each other.
And so if the parade, what time was this about, do you remember?
Well, I mean, I could tell you now because everybody's got video and all that. But if you had to ask me when it happened, like we said, like 5 minutes. If you'd asked me 5 minutes after, I'd be like, I don't know, partway through the parade.
The parade started at what time?
Well, the parade kicked off at 4 at the far end, and then however long it takes you to get to you is another 5-10 minutes. So we're probably into the parade like 20 minutes. If you had to ask me, right? So I'm assuming it's around
approximately
probably 4:30ish.
Okay.
But I'm not watching the clock. I'm watching the parade.
No, it's understood. That's why you're there.
Yeah. No, we gotta get this down, so try and corroborate everything.
No, and what you said is correct. I mean, just going off what you remember, that's all we ask. So, well, if you can think of anything else, if something else comes to your head, like later on, and you feel like you should tell us, I mean, I can provide you with a phone number and you can reach us. That's not a problem.
But it happened relatively quickly. Because it's a surreal thing, because you don't expect a speeding car to be coming through the parade route,
right?
And then once he cruised through, because when he was coming around the people that were to the left of me, and he was going towards this, that would be to the west.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that he was not, it didn't look to me like he was aiming for people. He was looking like he was trying to get away. Which now we know that was or at least according to what the media says.
Right. Did you talk to anybody that night? As far as investigators or law enforcement?
Not specifically. The reason that you have my name is because I think one of the gentlemen that was taking down names was there and just grabbed me.
Okay.
And he said, "Do you want to? If we need you, will you come tell us what? He said, if we need you, will you be available on this adjournment?"
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Come and talk to us. So.
Okay. What's your name?
Megan, Megan. All right. Where were you were there at the parade then on Sunday?
Yeah, my boyfriend lives at the Loft Apartments, which is overlooking Main Street.
And my understanding is that you were in one of the balconies?
Yeah,
there,
we're
or-
on the balcony.
Do you know the address for the Loft Apartments? Or?
Not by heart, but
Not
I
by
can look
heart?
it up.
Okay. I can look it up too.
Okay.
What apartment were you in? Okay. And then we might be able to get that from your boyfriend too. What's your boyfriend's name?
Andrew. I know they talked to him yesterday.
They've already interviewed him?
Yeah, he's in
Okay.
Indiana right now.
Okay.
But his number is,
Do you know what department interviewed him?
I think it was the same guy, maybe? I
Same
don't
guy?
know.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't know the address by heart.
Okay, I can look it up.
Okay.
I think there's only one Loft Apartment.
Yeah,
in
the
that
Lofts.
area.
Yeah,
the
it's right
Lofts,
across
okay.
the street from the Wisconsin house and the
Okay.
tattoo shop.
Okay. All right. So tell me what happened. What did you see? And is this something that you actually saw? You just heard, or is it
No, we
third-hand
saw.
information?
I mean, we didn't see the shooting.
Uh-huh.
So we were watching the parade, and like around like 4:36 or something like that. I mean, I have videos of it after. I don't have it like happening.
Okay.
It was right when like the cousin subs were coming down, and then all of a sudden a car came out of nowhere. We saw, and then I mean, it all happened really quickly. I just saw the like 3 or 4 people get hit, and then it looked like it was coming towards like it was coming down the street and it was going towards the right, which is where we were standing.
Mhm.
So my boyfriend pushed me into the apartment because we thought it was going to hit the apartment complex.
Okay.
But it swerved the other way.
It's over the other way?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it like ran over, like hit people, and then but there were people like all below us, but none of them were hit. And then it kept going down, and that's where it's the curb, and then that's where it hit the barrier. Or we didn't see that, but then we heard the shot, so we thought it was the car that was shooting, not the other way
Okay.
around.
So, and describe the car that you saw, and I know.
It was a red. To me, it looked like a Jeep, but I'm not good with cars. And it also, I mean, it was like there's a lot of stuff on the hood. Like it looked like it had hit things.
So there was a lot of stuff on the hood, meaning like a lot of damage on the
Yeah.
hood? Okay.
Because I thought it was weird that it was in the parade, because like people thought it was like, because there was a lot of old like cars following the group, so we kind of thought it was kind of like that, but then it was good, like took us a lot of speed.
Okay.
And they went through and everybody was screaming.
Okay. And from what you saw, tell me what you thought when you saw the car. Obviously, you thought at first it was part of the parade, but did you think that it was like an accidental thing, or did you think that he was intentionally trying to do something, or describe what you in your mind, what was going through your mind when you saw it?
The driver hit people, but then it went around. I mean, there were plenty of people that were sitting like right, on the street, and there was plenty of like little kids just dancing out. And then there was like a group of girls dancing, but they got out of the way because everybody started screaming. So it swerved. The car did swerve like this way, because that's why my boyfriend thought it was going to hit our building, but it didn't. It went that way, so it went around like that.
Okay. When he swerved, did you think he was swerving to avoid hitting people, or did you think he was swerving to attempt to try to hit people?
And after seeing like hitting the people, I mean, there's plenty of more people you could have hit.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, I really didn't know what was going on. I can't really say.
Were you able to see like roughly how many people he hit?
Like Well, I saw 5 people get put into stretchers, like put into the ambulance.
This was after the fact.
Yeah,
okay.
after the fact. Yeah.
Did you actually see somebody get hit, or did
Yeah,
you,
we saw some. At least I think like 3.
3?
3 or 4.
Were you able to see if they were adults or kids?
No, it was too far.
Too far?
But from once watching them get put into the stretcher, it appeared to be adults because they're
Okay.
long.
So you're in the balcony, 2nd floor,
Mhm.
and then you said it was too far. How far were you from where he was hitting people, or that you saw the car?
Can I show you?
Yes.
That'd be easier for me to. Yeah, 2nd floor. So, so this was right before it happened. Like it was like right over here. So then like, this is right after.
Oh my God. Somebody just drove through the parade route. There are people down.
So you're, okay.
So then, yeah, and then over there are people like down right up right there.
Okay, so you're,
And then it was the dog's noise.
where's the car? Did you catch the car, the actual car, or no?
No.
Or you just caught like where it all happened?
It was right after. I mean, the kids were in
This was
here.
all after.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Somebody just drove through the parade route. There are people down.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many videos and pictures do you have in there?
From there, from after it or before the, like we took like after the thing happened.
If you caught the car, if not,
I don't
then
have
it would
any
be
of
after.
the.
Nothing before.
I don't have the car.
It was
no.
just all after.
Yeah, it was all after.
Okay.
I have 1, 2, 3, and then we were there. I mean, we were stuck in the apartment.
Yeah.
So
is
after,
that an iPhone or?
Yeah, it's an iPhone.
Are you able to airdrop them?
Sure.
Let me see if it'll. If you open your airdrop thing, what do you see in
So
there?
no people.
No people. Let me see here if we can.
Oh.
Something popped up.
Are you Bob's personal
Yeah.
phone? Okay.
Yeah. It's just a picture of the
Stop.
table. Go ahead and take it, and
Okay.
maybe that'll open up your.
Okay. So then.
Now try to send one and see if it'll airdrop.
It still says no people found.
Still nothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to see in my airdrop if I have it like, oh yeah, receiving everyone, yeah. Do you want me to send you all of them?
Yes,
from after?
yes. Go ahead and send what you have after. I think so far I've gotten 2.
I think I sent 3.
3. Let me see. Oh, actually, yeah, you did. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4.
Okay, yeah, then those are the.
Those are it?
Yeah, I mean, I have
Okay.
other like videos from just like the police tape.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's
did
fine.
that.
But other than you got the majority of this when
Yeah, that
it
was
all
it.
kind of was
Yeah.
chaotic.
When it was, yeah, because then people after like the car went by and we heard the, what appeared to be shots.
Okay.
Everybody was running down the street. Like it was kind of cleared out a little bit after that video of the one where the kids are running. This groupless man and his wife and a child are running by screaming that there was an active shooter and that everybody needed to clear the area.
You said it was a man and a kid?
Yeah, and a woman too, like a family. But he was like hysterical, like screaming that there was a shooter. We all needed to hide.
And then you said you right around that time is when you said you thought you heard shots?
Yeah. Before that, like when
Before this? Okay.
So when the car came around, it appeared to us that it was going to come towards the apartment complex.
Mhm.
So my boyfriend pushed me inside into the apartment, and then it went around, and then we heard the pew pew, and then it went off, and then we kind of went back out there to be like, see what had happened.
Okay, so you simulated two shots, I'm assuming is what you heard?
Yeah. And then a lot of screaming.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver? Okay. Okay. Do you know any of the victims personally?
No.
Okay. Do you know the suspect? Okay. And okay, anything else that you think that we should know that I didn't ask you?
No.
Okay. Obviously, there's probably a lot of stuff you've already heard from the news and watched TV and Facebook and what have you, but what you actually saw is what you told me. There's nothing else that you can remember.
Yeah, no, that was what. Yeah,
that was pretty much
we
it.
we didn't really go on any social media. They cut the power, or the power went out, and both of our phones were really low, so we both had to kind of just stay
where you
just
were at?
we just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I think that's it. And this all happened. You did give me a time, I believe, 3.
I mean, from the last
Actually,
of the video,
4:36?
yeah, because the one video was at 4:39, so it had to been like 4 minutes prior to
4
that.
minutes prior.
Is
So
when
that
it came.
says 4:36 is when you said that. Okay. Okay, that's it. If you think of anything else, obviously you actually won't even show up on your drop us a number, but here's my card.
Okay.
If anything else comes up and you remember something else that it's important that we need to know, just give me a call.
Okay.
And then I can just take the rest of it over the phone.
Okay.
But, I got the videos, and that's what's important about meeting is to get any details from you, what you saw, and then collect any video
Okay.
if you saw anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
You have any questions?
No.
Okay.
All right, November 24th, 2021 at 12:13 p.m. What's your last name, Mason?
Kuntz, Kuntz.
And your mother?
Nicole.
What's her address? All right. So basically, we're just interviewing people regarding their observations the day of the parade.
Yeah.
So I know it's going to be hard because you've probably seen a lot on the news and on TV and social media and everything else, but I guess we're asking if you could just keep it to what you personally observed and heard or saw. Okay? All right, thanks. So what time did you go to the parade on Sunday?
We went right at a little bit after 4.
A little after?
Yeah.
And who's we?
It was me, my dad's girlfriend, my girlfriend, and then her kids, and then some of her friends.
Okay, your dad's name? Do you know if anybody talked to him at all yet?
No, he wasn't. No, nobody talked to him yet.
What's his phone number? Okay.
All he really saw was just the car zooming past.
Okay. And your dad's girlfriend, her name?
Marissa.
Last name?
I do not know her last
Okay, that's fine. Do you happen to know her phone number?
Yes.
And your girlfriend, you said?
Yeah,
And
Coney.
how do you spell that?
Cony.
And her last name? Well, she's downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so somebody's talking to her. And then you said your girlfriend's children?
No, my dad's girlfriend's
Oh, okay.
think
How many
it was
kids?
Just 2.
2 kids?
Yeah.
Do you know names?
Colin and Jordan.
Colin?
Yeah.
How old is Colin about?
8, 9.
And Jordan?
Yeah, she is 11, I think.
Okay. And where did you guys sit for the parade?
We were right at the start, right where the turn was for the street.
Do you know the street names?
No.
Do you remember any shops in the area or anything like that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Yes. Point Bar. We were right across the street from it.
Were you in the street or on the sidewalk?
On the sidewalk.
Point Bar?
Yeah.
Across the street from there?
Yeah.
Okay. And were you in a group of people or were you kind of off by yourself?
Group.
An odd question, were you sitting or standing?
Standing.
Standing. All right. As you're watching parade, what's the first thing of significance that you either saw or heard regarding
car?
this? Yeah.
Well, we were walking back because our group was leaving and we were walking back and we looked down and we see this red SUV zoom past us like 40 miles an hour. Almost hit the last people in the parade. It was Santa and then the deer, and he almost hit the deer and some woman, but he swerved out of the way. And then that was about all we saw, and then we kept walking.
Do you know what street that was on? Was that right where you were watching the parade?
It was, I don't know the name, so do you know the route where it was like this? Where like one of the, like, it was like a little...
I can bring it up.
Okay,
that doesn't have the street names on
so
it.
this is the start right here.
Okay.
We were walking down this way.
So away from the start?
Yeah, we were walking.
So if this is, I think this is Main Street.
Yeah, we were walking away from it, so.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were walking that way.
And then you said you saw a red SUV?
Yeah.
Could you tell what kind of vehicle it was other than a red SUV?
A red Ford, I think.
Could you see inside?
No, I didn't see inside. He was going too fast.
Was it near you or away from you?
Near me.
Near you? All right. Were you in the sidewalk or the street when you were walking away?
I was sidewalk, grass, curb. Right
And he was on the road?
Yeah, he was on the road.
Was he going in the same direction as you or the opposite direction? Okay. And you said that he drove on the street and swerved to avoid hitting the deer?
Yeah, the deer.
Was there anybody standing there or just the deer?
Yeah, the woman holding the leashes.
When he swerved, was there anybody standing in his path as after he swerved? Was there a group?
No.
Okay. And then was he on the road the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay. So after he swerved, what did you see him do?
After he swerved, I just see him. He kept going, and then he went. I thought that he was just on the road, like, cause like he was just there, and then he was gonna turn out. So then I looked away, but I did see him. I saw him keep going, but then I looked away, and then I didn't see anything else.
Kept going on the road?
Yeah.
Like
I just
where the parade was?
Yeah, I just saw him like continue.
Do you guys find anything odd about that, or?
Yeah, we did. We all did. We were like, "What the heck? What was that? Like, what were you doing?" And then when we kept walking down, Coney was like, there wasn't a barricade there, because then when we kept walking, there was a cop there now. So then we were all like, "What the hell? Like, what happened?" And we got back to the house that we were at, and then a couple extreme dancers, or a couple kids told us that the car hit some extreme dancers, and then Coney called her cousin, and then her cousin was crying, and then Coney was like, because her cousin was in the parade, and her cousin got hit.
She got hit?
Yeah.
Is she okay?
Yeah, she's doing fine. She's at the house. And then we ran down there instantly, so we were there for like the whole aftermath.
All right.
From like start to finish.
So, is your house close to the parade?
The house that we were at?
Yeah.
That one was.
Okay, so you went back, but everything was, everything had already happened?
Yeah, so we went back and we got to the house and a couple kids told us that the extreme dancers got hit.
Okay. And then what happened when you got back? What did you do then?
When we got back to the house?
When you got back to the parade?
We searched everywhere for her cousin. Couldn't find her.
Were people clearing out at that time?
Yeah, people, when we were going down there was like kid after kid, side by side, people around them, still looking for her. Then I heard a couple shots, and then we took shelter in the theater.
You heard shots then?
Yeah, we were in the theater, and then I went out to go see if I could find Ricciotti, and then I heard shots, and then I took cover in the Civic Theater.
What time do you think it was that you were walking away and saw the car go through?
About 4:30. 4:30, yeah, around there, 4:35.
And then you went back to the house. At what time do you think you went back to the parade?
6:50.
6:50?
Yeah.
So it was about hour...
Not 6:50, sorry, 4:50.
Oh, so 20 minutes, about 20 minutes later?
When did the hit happen? Like, when did he run over the kids?
I don't know exact time.
Because it was, I would say like, 4:50. I'm gonna stick with 4:50.
So how much time do you think it passed from the time that you first saw the car to when you heard the shots?
I heard the shots. 30 minutes.
Are you sure they were gunshots?
I'm not 100% sure. I thought they were.
How many did you hear?
2 or 3.
And could you tell where they were coming from?
No.
Were they close or far?
Middle, you could say.
And as you're looking for your girlfriend's cousin, did you see any victims? Anybody injured?
Yeah, I saw a lot.
What?
I saw. You want to know how many?
Yeah, sure.
Like 6.
And what kind of injuries could you tell? Or
no.
And could you tell age of people? Or
no, there's too many people surrounding them.
were they in the road or sidewalk on the
Road.
grass? And I'm assuming that it was on the parade route. And they all had people around them?
Yeah.
Did you ever find your girlfriend's cousin?
Yeah.
Where was she?
In a bakery. Like two stores next to the Civic Theater. I don't know what the name was.
In a bakery?
Yeah.
What kind? Did she have injuries?
Yeah, fractured hip, I think.
Was she being tended to?
Yeah.
By who?
We got there, and then like two or 3 minutes after we got there, 2 or 3 cops came in, paramedics.
2 to 3 cops with paramedics.
Yeah, and then 2 firemen.
So about 6 people.
Yeah.
And that was 2 to 3 minutes after you saw her.
Yeah.
Who was with her when you first saw her?
Her sister, Katsali, mom, dad, and brother.
Okay. And what'd you do then?
When we saw her?
Well, after you saw her, did you talk to her at all?
Yeah, Etsy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I asked her if she was okay, and then I kind of just let the paramedics do their thing.
Okay, what'd you guys do then?
Just sat there.
Okay.
We just sat on the wall.
And then how long did you think you stayed there?
In the store, or just like at the parade itself?
Either one. How about the store?
Store, say 20 minutes.
And then at the parade itself?
25.
So you left about 5 minutes after?
About like the whole thing. Okay, we left, I'd say 40, 45 minutes.
What'd you do after the store?
We waited for Etsy to get loaded into the ambulance.
Okay.
Or to find one.
And then you left?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And you said you could not see inside the vehicle or it drove fast, going too fast? All right. Anything else that you think you feel is important that we didn't cover?
No.
Okay. All right, well, thanks for coming in and talk.
Can drive.
Can drive.
Can drive.
Yeah, you're supposed to put that. All right. Let's see here. Hopefully you guys have gotten
So you know who we are. Scott Marlett. We're both with Department of Justice.
Bob one is here. Get all the 11:23 and 12:56. Okay. Well, I get your. Let me get right down your.
Yeah, I'll give you everything you need right there. I hope there were a lot of people who gave their names and stuff. There were.
Yeah. It's and they're still coming in. I mean, it was a little chaotic out there.
Oh God, yeah. It was awful.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
68. All right. And then which, actually, is your address on this one?
It is.
I'll write that down real quick. Okay, what's your phone number? Okay, so obviously he explained who we are. We work for the Department of Justice. We're trying to get all the interviews done from anybody that saw anything, anybody that was there.
Okay.
Did you actually see something when you were there?
We saw, I don't know if you're familiar with the parade route or the incident. But, So this is obviously the parade route. We were sitting at the intersection. We were at just in front of the Steaming Cup restaurant, which is on the
Steaming
corner.
Cup, okay.
Yeah, it's on the corner of Clinton and Main. So that's really right where all 5 fatalities occurred.
Okay.
So
you were right in front of that,
restaurant?
restaurant?
Yeah, we were right in front of there, within a few feet plus or minus this way.
Okay.
I printed this out for you. This is the Steaming Cup restaurant. The street that is right here, that's Clinton, and this is Main Street.
Okay.
Right here. What they do is there's angled parking. And
Okay.
It's kind of a distorted picture from the Google Maps image. But on this angled parking, the kids sit kind of right up at the edge of this these lines.
Okay, so they're not at the sidewalk.
They're not at the sidewalk. No, we're
on this
actually
side?
in the street.
Okay.
Yeah, we were sitting in the second row of people. There were no kids directly in front of us.
Okay.
There was a large group of families in front of us because obviously the kids are in the front row so they can get the candy and so on.
Right.
There's actually a third row of people behind us, which is kind of at the edge of the sidewalk.
The sidewalk, okay.
area. Yeah.
And were there cars parked all along?
No cars. There were no cars. This is a Google
Okay.
Street. There were people here. There was a gap. Some friends of ours had come to watch the parade, and they had left shortly after the Waukesha North Band went through. So
Okay.
they left midway through the parade, roughly. So
Okay.
there was a gap of people here. There was nobody directly in front of us.
Okay.
At the time.
All right, and I'm assuming the parade's coming this
Parade
way?
is coming correct. That is
Okay.
correct. It's coming from my left to my right.
Okay, and it was you and your wife that were there together?
Just the two of us, right? Our daughter was actually marching in the parade. She was a drum major for the Waukesha North Band.
Okay.
And as we found out later, by the time the incident happened, she had already cleared the parade.
She had already
route.
cleared everything?
She had already
Okay, well,
cleared the route, yes.
That's good. So you were there, and then what time did all this happen? Do you remember?
I can tell you I can tell you when shortly after the woman was struck, I called 911.
Okay.
I sat on hold for 2 minutes. They did not pick up. We just saw her get struck at first, and so we thought this was like maybe it's best if I tell you and give you the timeline.
Yes.
We were watching the parade, and there was a gap in the parade, and I leaned over to my wife. I said, "I bet the dancing grannies are next because they move slower than other people, so
Right.
the parade kind of runs at their route or their speed from there on." The dancing grannies passed us, and as soon as they were past us, there were some people from Citizens Bank who were handing out candy to the kids,
Okay.
including one of the decedents, Jane Coolidge. We did not know her at the time. We've since learned her name and
Okay.
found an association. They were coming down the street. We heard a shout or like crowd noise coming from upstream of the parade, and I stood up from my chair, took a step forward to be in front of the kids, and looked to my left to see what everybody was cheering for. We thought it was like cheering is noise. We thought maybe they were doing something different with Santa and the kids. And when I looked, I saw the suspect vehicle was in to the right of the float car for the Citizens Bank. It was approximately 15 yards to my left. I could tell it was traveling at a high rate of speed. So if this is the position that a car would normally be in the parade, and this was the Citizens Bank vehicle, the suspect vehicle was coming along this way, significantly fast. I jumped back, realized my wife that we were far enough off that we weren't in his direct path at this point. I believe that the woman who was struck was like about here. A car kind of came this way, struck her. She bounced forward, hit her again.
Okay. Real quick, so I can keep this up here. Describe the suspect vehicle.
It was a red SUV, small SUV. I found out later that it was a Ford Escape. I thought it was either a Escape or a small Blazer. I could tell it was a 2008 to 2012 kind of vintage car.
Okay. Did you notice anything about the suspect vehicle?
There was front end damage, but that's all I really noticed. I didn't even get time to identify the logo on the front.
Okay. And then were you able to see the suspect?
I did not see the suspect.
No, okay.
No, I was kind of eye level with the side of the car at that point. I guess I was kind of falling back to my chair. So I saw the side of the vehicle. I heard the engine.
Okay.
He was on the gas at that point. He was not idling. He was not going slow. We heard the thud of him hitting the Jane in front of us, and at first, I guess my mind processed that this was somebody who was part of the parade and was maybe having a medical emergency or a vehicle malfunction. So people started running, and really in a couple different ways. Families were grabbing their kids and just getting out of the way,
okay.
getting back.
The person that the vehicle hit that you actually
Yes.
saw, how close were you to that person?
Within 10 feet where she landed. My wife has a photograph showing in the photograph, our chairs have been pulled back to the sidewalk, and you can see where she's laying in the middle of the street.
Okay, within 10 feet of.
Yeah, and that was Jane Coolidge, if that helps you.
How would you spell Coolidge?
Kulich. We found out last night that she's the mom of 3 people who work at the same restaurant as my daughter.
Okay.
So we did not know this before. We had never met her before or anything. It was just a unfortunate coincidence.
You found out that she's the
Mother of some employees of Chili's, where my daughter works. And now she's gonna show you her. See what I have? I'm really proud of this.
Okay. And then you did not know this person until
we did not know
just
her.
found out who she was later on.
We deduced who she was from seeing the names when they released the victims list on Sunday.
Okay. And then, so you saw the vehicle hit this person?
Struck her in front of us, yes.
Okay.
And then, as I said, there was the families and stuff were kind of running away. A group of people started running towards her. There were probably 10 or 12 people that ran towards her to try and render first aid.
Okay.
I know one of those people is a friend of ours named Dale Matthews. He performed CPR on her. There was Dale and another person performed CPR on her for about 10 or 12 minutes until the paramedics arrived.
Who are the people that were performing CPR?
Dale, I don't have contact information of him. He's my wife may have a way to get a hold of him.
Okay, Dale, and do you know who the
I
other
don't know.
person?
My wife would know the other person's name.
Okay.
So I'm not medically trained, nor is my wife. I told my wife to go and take our blanket over to this woman who's lying in the street and help her cover her up or cover her feet. She was lying
off of this photo here. I'm assuming the X that you marked in
That's
this
about
photo.
where we were
That's
sitting.
where you were sitting at.
My wife was sitting directly to my right.
Where from this X was the person that got hit?
She was probably about here.
About on this side,
Yeah.
so she's directly across the street from
She
you,
was on the
kinda
same side of
halfway?
the street. She was on the same side of the street as me.
Okay.
Less than halfway. She was not in the middle of the street because the car wasn't in the middle of the street. It was coming, like it had just passed this car and was kind of coming this.
Okay. The person that he hit, was that a person that was a spectator, or was it one of the people that was?
She was with Citizens Bank.
Citizens Bank.
Yeah, she was with Citizens Bank. She was a parade. She was distributing candy, and I surmised that she was coming over to give candy to these kids when she was struck.
And you don't know the victim, right?
No, I've never met her. Never met her. I don't. In fact,
Other than
I don't
the
even know.
name
I don't know her kids. So
you don't know her. Okay.
No, my daughter didn't know her kids either. She just knew that She found out yesterday that their mom was killed.
And what else did you see? Anything else that you saw?
No, I mean just the stuff after. So I guess when my wife went to take the blanket over there, I took off down the road, kind of following the direction of the suspect vehicle. I firmly expected to see it like sitting up against a pole or something over there, because like I said, I thought it was somebody having a medical emergency or some sort of issue. When I did not see that and I saw other bodies in the road and people being attended to, that's when we realized this was something.
But that's when he made the turn?
This was long before he made the turn. So this occurred at this intersection. I apologize, I don't have my glasses on I can't see that small font on here, but wait a second. Let's do this. So this is Clinton Street right here. So the suspect vehicle continued along the parade route, and then we were told that he kind of exited the route over here somewhere.
Over here?
He did not. There's nowhere to get off.
Nowhere to
this
turn?
way. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the rough area where you were at first?
I was right here. But we kind of want to keep this on.
Yeah, no, that's fine. So you were in this area, and then where did you see the rest of the bodies?
About here. I mean, it was within a 60 to 80 foot area.
60,
we saw the couple of bodies. There turned out to be some more, I guess, further down that we saw as we were leaving the area. I could see that one of the people that was being treated to on the opposite corner of Clinton and Main Street was one of the dancing grannies. You could tell from her outfit.
Okay.
I couldn't identify,
Okay.
which one or whatever.
So at this point, you're just 60 to 80 feet looking at the rest of the bodies, but you did not.
No,
you
I didn't.
You just
I
stayed where
didn't
you
come
were
down.
at?
Yeah, I didn't come
Okay.
down the street there. I did. I came back and accompanied my wife, and we stood there kind of watching as they were trying to render aid and making sure that waiting for the emergency equipment to get there, and so on. Once the paramedics arrived and started working on the deceased woman in front of us, we kind of backed away and were standing basically on the corner. And that's when one of the community support officers asked us if we would stick around to give our names. And we agreed to do that.
Okay. And then as soon as all this happened, you got on 911.
I called 911 as soon as it happened.
Do you have
That was
the
within
time
30
of the
seconds.
call?
Yeah,
Yeah.
4:39 is what the timestamp was on the call. If you'd like to see it, yeah. Here's the information of the call. It was started at
4:39, 2
4:39,
minutes.
and I say they never picked up. I guess while I was on the phone with 911 is when I started heading this way to see where the car ended up.
Okay.
And when I saw that there were other cars or other things there, I started walking back. That's when we realized that it was a much bigger scope and that somebody had probably already gotten through to 911.
Okay.
So that's when I hung up the call.
All right. Did you get any video or photos yourself?
No,
Okay.
my wife took one photograph for perspective to show where the person was in the street.
Right.
Actually, the photographs in there. We
Okay.
have not shared that with any outlets because of out of respect for.
Right. I appreciate it.
I think she'd be more than happy to share that with
Okay.
the investigator. So.
All right. Anything else that I haven't asked you you think is important that we should know about this?
Nothing else. That's
nothing else. Okay.
Nothing earth shattering. I think they say it was just horrific and.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right. I think that's all I need from you. We'll wait for your wife, if you don't mind, and we'll talk to her quickly. And it sounds like it's going to be probably the same. But
I don't believe she even leaned forward. So
yeah,
she maybe could tell a little bit more what happened afterwards. But
yes,
that's
okay.
Probably the pertinent information.
Is she the one that took the photo then?
She took the photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she does have that photograph.
Okay, and then obviously you don't know the suspect, right? No. Personally or anything other than
No.
What you saw.
No.
Okay, and all this information is this information that you actually physically saw, not what you heard on.
That is right.
Okay.
Yes, that is I restricted my story to what I saw in front of me.
Okay.
The only part that I heard was later on hearing the make of the vehicle.
The make of the vehicle.
I could tell it was a dark red SUV. Red SUV.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you if it was
as far as the is what you heard. You said you heard the engine revving.
He was definitely was on the throttle. He was not. He was not coasting by. He was not.
When you saw him, he was on kind of parallel to the Citizens
parallel
Bank.
to the Citizens Bank. I saw him
vehicle?
coming around the Citizens Bank float.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So.
Did you see him swerving at all or anything like that, or he just went
No,
straight through?
when he was passing, this is when I dropped back.
Yeah.
And like I said, I guess in my head was calculating that I was back far enough. I believe he ended up angling off this way. And I think maybe my head's filling in that detail because he didn't end up on the light post over here.
And at that point, as he's going through, rushing through, you saw the person getting hit. Mm-hmm. You looked around, you saw other parents grabbing their kids and pulling them back.
Parents are grabbing their kids and going. My wife was telling people to grab their kids and just go to get out because we didn't know what. Obviously, we didn't know what was going on. And like I said, when I looked to my right, I fully expected to see that car sitting up against a traffic light.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Well, I appreciate your time, sir.
Please keep the victims and witnesses in your thoughts and prayers. I have included a link to the Waukesha Community Foundation Fund if you would like to learn how you can support the victims impacted by this tragedy. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.